So once again, good morning to all the students. So in last class, we were seeing the ADO.NET. We have learned how to we have seen the architecture and what are the components of .NET frame ADO.NET, and we were about to see ADO.NET Entity Framework. Okay, students, ADO.NET Entity Framework. I'll explain you later, but before I do that, just I wanted to explain here. The next we have is how to create a connection string. Yes, student. Yes, students. Is my screen is visible? Yes. Respond. At least for this, you can respond.
Yes,
No.
ma'am.
Okay. Yes, students. As in the beginning only, I told you in Visual Studio, you can in .NET Framework Visual Studio, we can execute a simple console application and web application and window application. We can execute. So in the part A program, we have seen the simple console applications. Now in part B, we have two types of programs, that is window application, or we can say standalone application, and a web application. So how to execute a web application we'll see later, but students, to execute window application or to execute a web application, we must create database, correct? No, without database we cannot do any applications. So once we without a database we cannot do any application, and first, that's the reason why first we need to learn how to create a database. Whether it is a web application or it is a standalone application, Windows application, the database is must, and the connectivity is also must, correct? Now the connection string is also compulsory. So here, yes students, I told in the beginning only. Yes, my screen is visible, students? So till now what we were doing, file, new, project, and here we were selecting a console application, correct Alva? Yes, right? We were selecting a console application, but now we are developing, we are learning about the connectivity. We do for the application window. It may be window application or it may be a web application. Select this Windows form application, students. Select this, and here you change the file name. For the file name, you change the file name, you lab1 part B first program, or this program is about employees, so you can give employee program, whatever the program, whichever you feel convenient, you can give. And before, yes students, one more thing here, before you select this, here see here Visual Studio, Visual C hash is there. Yes, can you see the left corner? Yes students, where I am, my most pointer is there, and here you can see other programming languages also: Visual Basic, Visual C++, Visual F hash. Yes, can you see? Here we need to select. Kanisತಾ idea? Any doubt? Anybody want to tell something? ಏನಾದರೂ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾ?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So here this should be selected, Visual C hash. So after this, change the file name, students. Change the file name and click on OK button. So your program will be created. So once you create a program, this form will be generated. See students, in this form I have taken these labels, text box, buttons, and the grid view. See, this is a label, this is also a label, and this is a text box where I want to enter the data. Yes students, this is a text box where I want to enter the data. This is the amount data, designation ID, and designation, the designation name. If you take example of college or any college, any department, then the designation will be lecturer, professor, assistant professor, associate professor, professor. So like this designations will be there. For each designation, ID will be given, and this is the very important here, submit button. So for this button I have labeled. Yes students, and you may get doubt, those who are learning this Visual Studio first time, you may get doubt from where madam has taken all this, whether already it will be there or we have to take from somewhere. Yes students, here we have a toolbox. Yes, can you see this left corner, left edge?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
toolbox, can you see students? If it is not there, if it is not there here, then here you have icons. Yes, the idea is because I cannot increase the size of the students. Yes, Apurva, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh, so these here you have this tool. See, generally for that when any plumber or any electrician comes to repair something, then they'll be having the hammer. Yes, correct, no, and other things they'll be having. Generally, for that also we call as a tools, no. So here, with those tools, they do some work. So here also with these tools, we develop a application. If you see the symbol of tools toolbox, the symbol is hammer, and some one more device is there. So if it is not this side, left side, you just click here students. You just click here and you have a shortcut key also. Please take down. The shortcut key is Control plus W plus X. Control plus W plus X, the shortcut key. So no need to go with a shortcut key, it will be there. So once you open a form, then here you will be having a list, whatever. See students, can you see the label? Kanistaa idea label? Respond.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
just drag and drop ashte. Just see, once if you drag and drop, assume that you need 10 labels. No need to go 10 times to the toolbox. Just you do copy and paste. Copy, paste, paste, paste. See how many labels you want. You can just copy, paste. So once I take a label, yes students, here I have changed, the label name is designation ID. Please zoom your mobile phone and you can observe designation ID. How I have changed this? To change this, right click here, go to properties. Here you have a text value students in the properties. See, come to right corner, right side now. See how I'm sitting on to to me it is right side. To me it is right side. So on the screen it is right side. So here the text is designation ID. See, whatever the changes you do here, that will be reflected here. Here I change BESID. Change aitalva? Changed. Respond.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So like this, you can include a text box and labels in the program. Okay. Again, go to toolbox. Check where is a text box. Here. Here, just drag and drop. Yes, students, from toolbox, whatever you need, just drag and drop. See, I got the text box and button. Again, go to toolbox, select button, just drag and drop. Just drag and drop. And again, previously it was button 1, but now I have changed it to submit. So how to change? Again, right click, properties. A property window will open here. Here we have a text. Yes, students, here can you see the property window clearly, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Property window. Yes, students, the second option is name, and for name, the name is button 1. Yes, students, as of now, still you are learning this Visual Studio. Don't change this button name value. Once you become perfect, that then you can change. But now still you are a beginner. Yes, now you are learning this. Please don't change this. Change only the text value. Change only the text value. So it will be highlighted on the form. Submit ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? Yes, submit. See, if you change here again in the code also you have to do changes. That we'll see in the later classes. But first here this is the basic. You understand how we create a form and how we do the database connectivity. Right. Okay. Next we have in ADO.NET to how to get a connection string. Anybody know where we'll get a connection string? Any idea? Any answer? Where we'll get a connection string? Okay. Yes, students. Here the right side, can you see the Server Explorer? Can you see Server Explorer? Respond.
Yes, ma'am.
This is very important. This is Part B program. So once again, I'm not going to explain this in Part B program, students. If you have any doubt, if you are not understanding, or if anything is not clear, please respond. If you don't respond, then how I'll understand whether you're following or not? Okay. If the Server Explorer is not here, then go to view. Here you have a Server Explorer. See, if the Solution Explorer is also not there, everything will be here. Yes, students, one more option for toolbox. Yes, I told toolbox, the icon will be here. No, in the view also you'll get a toolbox. In the view also you have a toolbox. When you click here, then the toolbox will display on the monitor. Yes, if the Server Explorer is not there, then go to view, click on the Server Explorer, then it will, you can see the Server Explorer. Yes, students, here this is by using Server Explorer, we create a database, we create a connection string. So here, first what you do here, once you here already I have created a database already. I have, see here, can you see lab1.mdf? Yes, ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ Server Explorer ಅಲ್ಲಿ?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the database I have created. This is the database I have created. Now I'll tell you how to create a database. So to create a database, click on connect to database. Yes, students, can you see connect to database option? That box will be there, like cylinder is there. To that cylinder a plug is there. Yes, that icon. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, here if you see here, a small window will open. Here you type your file name. See, lab1 database I have created. So here you give the database name. To which database, what name you want to give to the database. Yes, already I have created a database. So here lab1 and click on OK button. Click on OK button. Then when you click on OK button, click on OK button, then it will create a database. Yes, I don't know why. Yes, students, when you click on the OK button, this file will be created. Yes, can you see this lab1.mdf?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. हाँ. Yes, students, here, when I click here, can you see when I click this lab1, when I click on lab1.mdf, is it showing anything? No, it is not showing anything. So here you need to, once again, students. It is showing some error. Once again, students, yesterday I have created, I did not get any error like this. Failed to generate the instance of SQL server due to the failure in the string to process it. Students, wait. Yes, students, it is showing some error. Okay, we'll rectify what is that error later. So for here, this is how we create a database. So here we give the file name, that is lab1 dot lab1. So lab first part B, first program I'm doing. So I have given lab1. So when you click on OK, then the database will be created with .mdf file. Yes, students, if you observe the screen, here you have a one more option, use SQL Server authentication. Can you see this? Understand idea? When I click on here, when I select this, it will ask for username and password. It will ask for username, password, so that you can give a security to your database. So that you can give a security to a database. Yes. Yes, students, when you when you create a database, here we have two options. The first option is Windows authentication option, and the second option is use SQL Server authentication. Use SQL Server authentication. If you use SQL Server authentication, here you can give username and password, and you have this option also. You can save your password. Save my password. So we may have here, if you generally if you do any lab programs or simple any applications, we don't give any username or password. But when we are doing any confidential applications, any commercial applications, any real-time application, that time you can select this option. You can select this option. The option is the username and password. If you when you want to access your database once again for later usage, when you want to access the database, then you have to give the username and password, and you can also save username and password. This option is also is there. So when you click on OK button, then here the right side, you can see the right side. See, previously lab1.mdf file was there. Yesterday I have created, so database file was there, that is .mdf file was there. So when you create the database, then .mdf file will be created. So in that MDF file only, you have to create how many tables if you want to develop or you want to create for your application. Those many tables you can create in that MDF file. So in that MDF file only, all the tables will be stored. Fail to generate circumstance of exit due to failure in this. Yes, students, if you in Visual Studio, sometimes if you are not doing step by step also, it will show error. Yesterday from the beginning to the end I have done, so it did not show any error. So it is showing something you have missed, some step you have missed, so that's why it is giving the error. Connection will be. See what error we are getting: failed to generate your instance of SQL Server due to a failure in the starting the process of for the user instance. So it is not able to start the server. So I don't know why it is not starting the server. Yes, students, you know in Visual Studio, Visual Studio we have a built-in server. Yes. What is that built-in server, students? What is that built-in server? What is that built-in server? Yes, students, I'll show you one more method in Visual Studio. See, you can create data. That method it is showing error. No, see, click on the database connection. Yes, students, here can you see the option change? Kansa idea change. Can you see the data source? Data source. Click on change. Here you have so many options. Yes, students using Access also you can retrieve the data. So Microsoft Access database file, Microsoft ODBC data source, Microsoft SQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server Compact 3.5, Microsoft SQL Server database, Oracle database. Now I'll select my Microsoft SQL Server Compact 3.5. Yes, students, you're observing. So that I'm selecting, and here you can create a database name. You can create a database name, that is lab1. Lab1 is my database. Yes, following students. This is the other method I'm explaining. In that method I'm getting error, so this is the other method I'm explaining. Here I have changed the source, that is Microsoft SQL Server Compact 3.5, and here I'm creating a database. I'm creating a database, and here also you have an option, students. If you want to give up security to your database, you can give password to your database. So create a database. While creating also, it will ask whether you want to give a username, password, or if you want to change the password. If you, yes, here we are giving password. Here we are giving password. When you click on create, if you want to change the password, again it is asking new password and confirm password. I don't want to give any password, and it will ask, are you sure you want to create a database without password protection? Yes, I want. See, just now I have already created, no? I have already created, so it is showing already exist. Then okay. Already exist means click on, you can here, I'll change lab 2. Lab 2, yes, again it is asking, are you sure you want to create a database without a password protection? Yes. So test connection. So we test the connection. So the test connection succeeded. Test connection succeeded. Click on OK button. Okay. Yes. Yes, students. Yes, students. In the previous procedure, whatever I was explaining there, the file name was .mdf. Yes. Now the file name is .sdf. Yes. I'll explain you what is a .mdf file and what is .sdf file. Yes. Are you observing the difference, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now if I click here, here you have tables, replication. See, just here we are learning how to create a connection string. So now if you click on table, I don't have any tables. To create a table, right click, create, create. Here I give the file name, table name, that is um, desi- one second, I'll check the database. Okay, designation table name I'm giving. In here I'm inserting the values. Column name, that is the ID, data type integer, data type integer, length, integer. The length is 4. By default it is taking. Yes students, if at the end what is there, primary key, whether you have set this as a primary key, still I have not set. And next is designation. The data type is n varchar. Now what I do, I make this as a primary key. I make this as a primary key. Click on OK. So yes students, the table is created. Yes students, I'll explain you the difference between, I'll tell you what is the difference between .mdf file and .sdf file. Here just we are learning how we get a connection string. Yes students, here my database is lab2.sdf and this is my tables. Here I have created a table, only one table I have created. That is designation table. Now right click on lab2.sdf file, right click on that sdf file, go to properties, and in the property window, yes students, observe carefully. In the property window, here you find a connection string. Yes, Kanasaiya, connection string. Yes students, see the connection string. The connection string is nothing but the path. The connection string is nothing but the path where the file is existing. That file name, that file path. See the data source is nothing but the source of the data where it is present. C drive C // users / sign / documents lab2.sdf. So here the database is present. Here the data source is present. So this is the path. So this path we call as a connection string. So this is how we create a connection string. Yes students, you understood how we create a connection string. You have to go to Server Explorer, and click on connect to database. Here I have an option. See here, first you need to select the data source. Here you can change the data source. See here the Microsoft Access database file, Microsoft ODBC data source, Microsoft SQL Server database, Microsoft SQL Server Compact 3.5, SQL Server 3.5, SQL Server database file, Oracle database file. So whichever you want, you can select. So I have selected SQL Server Compact 3.5. Click on OK. Now here we create a database. To create a database, give a file name lab1 and click on create button. So before clicking on the create button, down you can observe, you can also provide a security to your database by giving a password, or you can also save the password. If you give a password, then again it will ask while creating a SQL Server compact database, it will ask whether you want to change the password, new password you want to give, and it will ask for the confirmation also. If you want, you can give, otherwise you can leave without giving a password. Then click on test connection. Click on test connection. When you click on the test connection, when you click on the uh, when you click on the test connection, it will show test connection exceeded. Test connection sorry, succeeded. Test connection succeeded. Click on OK button. Click on OK button. Yes, see students, observe here. Previously only lab2.sdf file was there. Now lab3.sdf file is also one more database is included. Yes, one more database is included. Now again add connection. Go to data source here. I'll now, yes students, if you observe carefully, now I'm selecting Microsoft SQL Server. Previously what I have selected, Microsoft SQL Server Compact 3.5. Now I select my Microsoft SQL Server, click on OK. Click on OK. Here we have to give the server name. Here we have to give the server name. Server name is nothing but student your computer name. Server name is nothing but your computer name. What name you have given to your computer? In my computer here the name I have given Om Sai. So I can give here. So see here Om Sai name I have given, and here you give the database name. Part B1 I'll give. Part B1 I'll give. Yes students, here you can see use SQL Server authentication. If you click here, then you can also give a password to your database. No, I don't want to give password. Then test connection. You can test the connection. Once the connection is succeeded, then that database will be created. That database will be created. Error is just. Okay, students, I'll stop here. In the next class, I'll explain you how to write the queries. Yes, students, you understood how we are getting the connection string. Without creating a database, you will not get a connection string, students. Without creating a database, you have to create a database. Once you create a database, there you will get a connection string. That connection string is nothing but it has a path. It has a path where we have stored the tables, where we have stored the database. Yes, understood how we are getting a connection string, students?
Yes, ma'am.
It says those who are attending test today exactly 240 you have to join for the lab, and you have to show yes, when you are in internals, during internals, please don't say you don't have software, your laptop is not working, this that. Please don't say that reason, students.
Hello, ma'am. Hello.
Yeah, Rabba? Sarfraz, yes, Sarfraz.
Ma'am, I have one small question. Can I use online ID for that?
Online
Executing those
ID, which
program?
what type of ID?
Online editor, ma'am, like Geeks for Geeks editor to execute those programs because I'm using Linux operating system, ma'am. So I can't use Visual Studio for that.
No, for test you cannot do. Why you don't have Visual Studio?
No, ma'am, I'm using Linux operating system. I don't use Windows, ma'am.
Okay.
So for this test only, I want you to allow me to do that, ma'am. From next
Okay.
test, I will try my best to download Windows because my system is not capable to run Windows, no, ma'am. Therefore, I'm using Linux.
Okay.
So can I use,
Okay.
ma'am? online editor.
Yeah, you can. You can.
And ma'am, what
Yes.
about those records, ma'am?
Records you have
Yep.
to submit. You have to show the record. Yes.
Today only, ma'am, or
Yes, today you have to show. Yes. Last time only I told no. Today only you have to show. When yeah, on the day of internals, you have to show the record. How much ever you have written, you show me today. Is answer your attendance,
on.
Aditya?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Tell
Yes,
me. Tell me
ma'am.
something. Sarfraz, you are telling something.
No, ma'am, I got my answer, ma'am. Okay.
Okay. Ajay,
Yes, ma'am.
Amit,
Yes, ma'am.
Antima, Antima, absent. Apurva,
Present, ma'am.
Ashwini,
Yes, ma'am.
Bindu,
Yes, ma'am.
Divyesh, Gaurish,
Yes, ma'am.
Gautami,
Present, ma'am.
Gunashekar,
Present, ma'am.
Harini,
Present, ma'am.
Surya, Nayana, Nazma,
Present, ma'am.
Nidhi,
Present, ma'am.
Pradeep,
Yes, ma'am.
Preeti,
Present, ma'am.
Rajesh, Sahadev,
Present, ma'am.
Saket,
Present, ma'am.
Santosh,
Ma'am, Nayana, present, ma'am.
sorry, ma. Santosh, Seema,
Yes, ma'am.
Sinchana,
Present, ma'am.
Spurti,
Present, ma'am.
Shashank,
Present, ma'am.
Varsha,
Present, ma'am.
Yashashwini,
Present, ma'am.
Amruta,
Present, ma'am.
Anusha, Apurva,
Present, ma'am.
Sai
Yes, ma'am.
Siddharth, Chetana,
Present, ma'am.
Kavya,
Present, ma'am.
Kavya last class absent. Madhu,
Present, ma'am.
Manish,
Present, ma'am.
Sarfraz,
Present, ma'am.
Murugesh,
Present, ma'am.
Mani,
Present, ma'am.
Paresh, Paresh, Paresh is absent. Pooja,
Present, ma'am.
Prashant,
Present, ma'am.
Pratibha,
Present, ma'am.
Sadhana,
Present, ma'am.
Shashank, Shashank Chandran, Shraddha,
Present, ma'am.
Sridhar,
Present, ma'am.
Tanuj,
Present, ma'am.
Tejaswini,
Present, ma'am.
Ummehani,
Present, ma'am.
Ashish, Ashish, Vidya,
Present, ma'am.
Vishal,
Present, ma'am.